On this episode of Screen Geeks, we're going to talk about that new, not Mighty Morphin Power, Mighty Ducks trailer, the new Godzilla versus King Kong trailer, and whether or not Ralph still hates WandaVision. Hello, everybody. And
why just me? Why just me?
Welcome
you it too.
Welcome to Screen Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me on this journey of screen geekery is Ralph. Ralph, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
I'm doing great. Do I sound all right?
You sound great. I think it's
cool.
the angle at which you're kind of facing the microphone, so I think you should keep that angle.
Okay.
But excited to be here. PD Dub's already in the house. Hey-o, PD Dubs. You know, I don't know. I feel like we got a lot of flack last week with our WandaVision take.
Oh, did we? I didn't look in the comments.
Well, I mean, comments,
the live comments.
But I feel like people. Okay, nobody sees anybody on the street anymore. But I feel like if I did, and I was only ringing to people I would know, they'd be like, "What do you mean? What, you didn't like WandaVision? It was awesome." Like, I got so many texts after that episode of people not liking our take, but it's fine. We can all.
Do they have a reason? Do they have a good take?
I said, no, it's good. Like, you gotta.
What's good about it though? That's what I want to know.
I don't want to fight anybody anymore. Okay, I don't have it in me, Ralph.
But is it the 20 minutes, the 21 minutes of nothing, and then the 1 minute of something kind of interesting? Because it continued in episode 3.
Hey, that's a discussion for later. That's a bigger, meatier subject.
Okay. All right. I'm really fired up on this WandaVision thing. If people are messing with Jay,
why? What are they saying? Oh yeah,
no, you just said
in general. Okay, yeah. All right, just some little housekeeping things here. What? Go ahead. What's wrong?
Nothing. I was looking in the chat. I need to. We're going to talk about the Godzilla versus Kong thing.
We are. Right? That's its own subject. We'll talk.
Yeah, I don't know how to approach it from a spoiler point of view.
What, you've seen the movie already?
No, I've seen the trailer.
Well, but if you about the trailer, we'll put.
Yeah,
okay. I'll put a spoiler warning up.
Sorry. I'm way too excited today.
It's very You came.
I'm really. Yeah.
You came in hot today. Like, before we even started the show, you came in like obsessed about something. I won't call attention to it, but you were obsessed about something.
I just had like 10 Swedish fish hearts.
Oh, I haven't had those. That sounds delicious.
They taste just like Swedish fish, but they're heart shaped.
But so is it like those things sometimes, like the Reese's pumpkins or whatever? Is it bigger so it tastes even better? Or
it's almost as if they took a Swedish fish, bent it in half.
Okay.
To make the heart shape. So I think you're still getting the same amount. It's just a different shape. They might be a little bit smaller.
Okay. All right. But is the heart shape a better mouthfeel than the fish shape?
No, same.
Okay. Bit of housekeeping. If you didn't check us out last week on Toy Geeks, Ralph made a guest appearance in the chat. So definitely for that in that episode, and released a new episode, I think yesterday. I finally got the Kenner Classics Ghost Popper, which this sometimes I have a lot of fun with the thumbnail artwork, and this was one of those where I got Zach to dress up in my old Ghostbuster uniform. But that was pretty cool. So definitely check it out. The new Ghost Popper video review.
Yeah, it looks like that new one fires really hot. Speaking of coming in hot.
Woo!
It's a great sound too.
A great popping sound, and yet they must have added like an O-ring in this part, but it's like there's a lot of resistance to it. It pushes out a lot of air. So check that one out. It's already up at your leisure. And then hopefully tomorrow I'll be filming and posting the review on Saturday. But I got the Plasma Series Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters Afterlife. So it's the rusted out version.
Are there spoilers in it?
I mean, I think we all know.
The thing we all know.
Yeah, we all know about that. It's in there.
Right.
But apparently, I got this one from a collector that didn't want it in the RDU area, or in North Carolina, actually. But apparently there's a big variant. There is this one that doesn't have a lot of grime on it. There's one that has a bunch on it. So I have another one coming in. And if there's two different ones, and I'm going to do really the video about why is there two completely different kind of looks to that Ecto 1. But so hopefully that video drops on Saturday. And then on Sunday, Toy Geeks comes back 9 o'clock. And we will absolutely be talking about the big bit of toy news. So we won't be talking about it here because this is Screen Geeks. But on Sunday, we'll be talking about the reveal of the Thunder Tank. And they just dropped the price today. It is expensive. It is stupid expensive. I will not say it here because I know Colleen watches this show. And she may not fully watch Toy Geeks.
She's in the chat.
She is? Okay, I'm not going to say how much it is. And nobody in the chat say how much it is. But it's at least as much as Ralph's.
Like $600. Oh, whoa. Really?
Anywho.
Oh. Okay. Man, I can't wait for those records to show up.
Oh, man.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
So my birthday's coming up.
It is.
And I got the records as, an excuse, the birthday gift excuse. Like, oh, it's my birthday, I'm getting this. The other day, my wife, Stevie, comes up. She's like, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm the idiot that said, you already got me the Godzilla set.
Oh, you had your chance.
I know. I could have got more stuff. But,
okay.
I mean, it's pretty, I already feel guilty about it. So I was going to play it honest.
Okay. All right.
But,
that's being a good husband. You did the right thing, but still, if you were going to do the wrong thing, what would you have double dipped on? What would you have asked for?
Oh, records, more records. I have a whole wish list, and yeah, I got something like 10 records for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I back when I worked in Durham regularly, we have this amazing record store, and I'd get records all the time because you get them really cheap. They're old records, so $1, $5, $10, good records. But since we've been quarantined, I have not been in that record shop for a year. Or coming up.
Right, and we got our record player during quarantine.
Yeah, I remember.
So all of my it's all online purchases. Some stuff from local places, which is good, but sometimes these companies just put them up on their site, and I don't want to miss out.
And you can't resist. All right, going to the following back up on the chat. Brad Brooks, Reese's eggs are lit, are fire. I agree.
Yeah, they have the hearts right now.
I would prefer the egg to the pumpkin. I think I like Reese's eggs the best out of different Reese's shapes. Because there's something about the egg that I think just it feels extra. Like there's more peanut butter in it or something. But it's good to hear these Swedish fish are good as well. Fetz says, Jay, does the popping make you feel good? I can't do too much of that. I'll have to pay Ray Parker Jr. Dub says it's Nerf level. It's kind of the OG Nerf gun because that came out. It was by Penner owned Nerf. So it's the same type of Nerf technology or whatever, but it was before they had Nerf guns. It was the first Nerf gun. Peter Dub says the other Ecto look like it's the barbecue edition. Yeah, it looks awful. It looks terrible, and I will try to document it on this show. Colleen says you bought something. I did not buy something expensive. It is not even up for pre-order yet, and it's not going to be released until 2022. But it's stupid expensive.
So start saving now.
Colleen is just learning that your birthday's in February. We knew Ralph's birthday was in February.
It's the same day as like 3 people we know. It's Illyrio, Christine, and Pete Fulton. No, Pete Fulton and I, our weddings were the same day. But yeah, there's like 3 of us. And Will Johnson, maybe? No, somebody else. There's someone else. February 18th.
Oh, Skull. Oh, he didn't hear my warning earlier. He came in later. It's okay.
Corey.
Corey's the last one. There you go.
Oh.
Woot February baby. You guys recently got the Mondo Halloween 2 soundtrack. It's amazing. I mean, Mondo just does amazing sets. Howdy, old school. So you missed at the beginning, old school. I said we're gonna talk about the Thunder Tank on Toy Geeks on Sunday. Do not say how much it is because Colleen is in the chat, and well, old school already broke the news, but yeah, just enough. Order start February 2nd. It is February 18th, or maybe she knew. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what she was saying. Hello, Eddie is in the house. Hello, Eddie. Corey's last one. Also,
yeah.
Oops, what have I done? It's okay. It's okay, old school. I know you didn't mean it. It's all right.
All right.
They're mostly air on February 18th, but I must say that February 8th is a better birthday. Who's born on February 8th? I don't know anybody.
Stevie was born on February 10th.
I think I knew that because it's Alex is the 9th, Stevie's the 10th.
Yeah, and it's right. We have Valentine's Day right between, so it's like a pretty crazy 8 days.
Yep.
This year we will be spending it at home.
Much like every other activity.
Man, I'm getting sick of it. I really am. But there's plenty of stuff to watch.
It's true. It's true. I was excited to announce again. It's okay, old school. It's okay. All right. You didn't know, but it is the thing. Kind of. I've been getting texts like, really 450. I think we're all thinking maybe 300, 350, but yeah, 450 is. We'll see. All right. Thank you for the chat. Let's go to TV and film news.
Ooh.
All right. So we did have.
This is like the beginning of Wonder Woman.
No, that'd be
I did, just since Colleen is here right now, I did go and listen to her review on the broadcast of Wonder Woman 84.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Here we go.
All right.
You're probably more excited about this than I am, but the Mighty Ducks Game Changers is coming to Disney Plus on March 26th.
Yeah. That's talking about my birthday. I'm a March 27th kid, Aries all the way. And I kind of wasn't at first, like when I think a while ago they said what it's going to be about, like the Mighty Ducks are the bad guys now and it's some other team going up. So now seeing it in the trailer, I'm still kind of like, why make the Mighty Ducks the bad guy? Like, why don't you just disband it and then bring it back or something? I don't know. It just seems weird the Ducks are the bad guy. That was kind of the whole joke. You had like the Falcons or whatever, and then you had the Ducks.
Right.
But anyway, besides that, the trailer looks fun though. It's an underdog. It's kind of playing a lot of the same beats, but new kids. The thing that threw me off though is Mr. Mighty Duck himself, Emilio Estevez. Kind of seems like a washed up, ice rink owner. I feel like Coach Bombay should have be in a better spot in life than that. But who knows? We don't know. We haven't seen the show. But that kind of threw me off a little bit. It's cool that he's there because in Mighty Ducks 3, he was kind of just a cameo guest star. It was what made the movie kind of really lame. But what's your kind of take here? You've seen the trailer and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've only seen the Mighty Ducks 1, and that was once, and that was within quarantine. I think when HBO Max started, it was on there. So I'm not like super into the franchise.
Sure.
But it kind of has a feeling like since the Mighty Ducks' success in the first film, they continued to be successful and became the sort of it team. And
Sure.
So they're kind of now the head honchos. And it has kind of sort of shades of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
But I feel like Cobra Kai is doing it so well.
It is.
That this might have to live up to that, unfortunately for them. So hopefully it kind of goes on a different path than Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
But it does look like the Ducks are at the top of their game and that Coach Bombay isn't involved with the Ducks.
Yep.
So he may come and coach this sort of new ragtag team. So that might be fun.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah, we'll just have to see how it plays out, because I would agree Cobra Kai is, it's kind of weird, because on its concept, when they first announced, I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. I'm gonna watch it, but it's gonna be bad.
right.
And then like whenever that YouTube, whatever it was, YouTube premium
Red.
thing, Red was
Yeah.
whatever it was, um we signed up for it and we watched. I was like, this is actually a good show. This is a really good show.
Right.
And I am not caught up on it since it's been moved to Netflix. But it is a fantastic, it's way better than it has any right to be.
Right. And I think what the charm of Cobra Kai is, because it was on YouTube Red, you can kind of tell that they were working with a lower budget, but they wrote the characters really smartly.
Yes.
They laid out the story really well. So it kind of, the show itself felt like an underdog story, because I felt like nobody would have thought that, you know, a Karate Kid reboot TV show on YouTube would be any good. It had so much going against it, and it moved to Netflix and it's become like the biggest hit for them. And it's really well done. It has that kind of scrappy feeling. Here on the other hand, for Mighty Ducks, we have Disney backing this, and this is not a low budget thing. This is on their biggest platform, Disney Plus. So will it have that kind of scrapping feel to it? Will it have that heart? Will it feel like that, or will it just be too overproduced? Based on the trailer, it doesn't look like there's anything flashy in it. So I'm kind of hoping that it feels like a nice, calm, not over the top. Like, it could be funny and all that stuff, but I don't want it to feel like a Michael Bay movie or an overproduced movie. I want it to feel like a scrappy little movie. Is it a show or a movie? It's a movie.
It's a show, I think. There's a series.
Okay, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just hoping it's not. Yeah. Don't be too. Yeah. There's something about Cobra Kai that you root for, like you want it to succeed. This one I'm not really.
Well, because I think it was both this scrappy little show on YouTube Premium, that's probably the only way this thing would get made, is like people money and Google's just throwing it at this project.
And it was a passion project. Like
Yep.
William Zabka is like the producer of it, and it's like one of those things where it's like, I'll do anything to get this done, and when we do, we're going to do it right. Whereas Disney's like, oh, here, make Mighty Ducks. Here's a bunch of money.
Yeah,
you know, I don't think it'll have that same feel.
It probably won't, but you know, it's a different franchise, or two different franchises. Yes, it is kind of an underdog, scrappy sports kind of drama, but they're Karate Kid as well as Cobra Kai is a much more adult fare than, or young adult fare than Mighty Ducks, which is a kids movie. And it's like a Disney version of Bad News Bears, or even Bad News Bears is it's an edgy kind of family movie. And Mighty Ducks is like the very sanitized version of that. But you know, being a kid of the 80s and 90s, I love Mighty Ducks. Went and saw in theaters. Love the second one. Third one I hated. As I said before, second one is ridiculous and absurd. Like to your point, like over the top, zany. It's stupid, but I have nostalgic for it, so it's fun to watch it with the kids. But I think the first one has that kind of scrappy charm, upstart, underdog kind of thing, and it definitely feels like they're setting it up that way. This kid that gets cut from the now powerhouse Ducks, and then you know Emilio Estevez comes in to be the Miyagi kind of figure, and I guess for Mighty Ducks it's the Franz guy. But again, I'd just be curious to see why Bombay looks so down on his luck, because again in the show he keeps like succeeding, and that's why he wasn't even really in the third one, because he was going on, I don't know, do something. I don't know, but we'll see. Watching it, I was like, I'm gonna watch it. I pay for
we all have Disney Plus, so
yeah. And I probably will be better than WandaVision, so it's got that going for it.
You didn't. Okay. Do you want to get into that? Because it's not going to be.
No,
It's
we're
not going to be much longer. Okay.
do the news, and then we'll get into that.
Um.
Wait, hold on. Brad Book says he hated the third when it came out, but he revisited it recently. So same here. I think it was on HBO. They were all on HBO Max for a minute, and then maybe it was on Disney Plus. I don't know. But I was rewatching them with my kids. We loved the first, second one, and we started the third one. And I was like, nope, I still hate it, and I stopped. I stopped like 30 minutes in. So maybe if I would have stuck around. We have ME or me. Hi, welcome. First time into the show. I thought Emilio only directed these days. Surprise, he's on screen. You got that Disney money,
right?
And there we go. Old school says Emilio looks like Hitler in that pic.
He got a little mustache.
Yeah, he's got a little bit. It's amazing how much he looks like his dad, Martin Sheen.
Right.
He looks more like Martin Sheen to me than Charlie Sheen looks like Martin Sheen. But anywho, all right. Next bit of news. This thing, it was making the rounds on the internet today. Disney Plus sequel trilogy. So rumor is, and I think this is, I tried to find the first entertainment talked about. I think it's Express in the UK. But apparently they're talking about kind of rebooting the sequel series as like 3 seasons of a TV show, putting in new footage, and essentially kind of reboot, retconning the sequel trilogy.
Don't do it. It's dumb.
You think it's dumb?
Just move forward. Don't go through the trouble of pleasing crappy fanboys.
Mm-hmm.
There was last week I watched, they put Batman the Animated Series on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
I watched my favorite episode, which is Beware the Gray Ghost, and it's all about fandom.
Yep.
And Batman's on the good side of fandom, where he embraces and loves this stuff, and collects and enjoys what's given to him. Then on the other side, you have the Mad Bomber, who collects the stuff for profit, who exploits the show, and tries to get things done his own way, and be involved in bad ways. And I always come down on the side of Batman. I love being a fan of Star Wars. Listen, like, the sequel trilogy may not be for you. That's fine. I remember in my 20s when the prequels came out, they were definitely not for me.
Yep.
But over time, I've come to really appreciate them and enjoy them.
Yep.
So fans need to just deal with what they have. You know, you have more than 3 Star Wars movies, which is way more than I ever had growing up. Just be happy with what you like, and don't be a whiny baby about the stuff you don't like. I don't think Disney should do this. It's a waste of time. Just make new content, keep pushing forward.
Yep.
And the news doesn't sound real whatsoever. It doesn't. This is not like, if they can hide Grogu up until the release of the first episode of The Mandalorian, how in the world would this news get out? So I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Well, Fetz says, wow, fake news. And it is very clickbaity in terms of its structure. And I will absolutely admit that. So this could be fake. But, you know, a lot of people and companies and politics and production studios, they'll like kind of leak stuff out to kind of do a little test balloon just to see like what's the reaction to it. And if they wanted to kind of test the waters on what if we did this, what would you think? They probably do a little leak like this, gauge reaction.
Well, I'm hoping Disney watches Screen Geeks. I hope Disney watches it and realize that it's a dumb move. It's a waste of money. Pleasing one group of fans isn't going to make everybody happy. Star Wars will never make everybody happy. You did the story. Let the past die, as Brian Johnson would say. Move forward with new Star Wars. Everybody loves Mandalorian, because it's a new, fresh take on Star Wars. You have now completed the Skywalker saga. Let's move on to other stories.
Yeah. No,
So,
I agree. I agree.
yeah.
Like I'm with you. You know, I to me it's like there's a lot I did like in the sequel trilogy, and there was stuff I didn't like, which is you
Right.
can say
Same.
about anything. But yeah, I don't think it needs to happen. But in a world where HBO Max is, you know, re-editing Justice League and turning it into like 4 episodes or something like that.
No, that's been changed. They're just doing the movie now.
They're just in the movie.
And
Okay.
it's still going to be 4 hours long.
So you know, like whatever. If they do it, I'll watch it. If they don't, I'm fine too. Like I'm fine with or without this being a thing. Because
Right.
I'm with you. I think all of the stuff they have planned, you know, and we did the episode breaking down the Disney Investor Day.
Yeah.
It's like 75 Star Wars things. They have plenty to do. Like they're not dying for content to pull off something like this.
Right.
Right.
So, and what's the point of trying to create some sort of story out of what you got? Like they were barely able to salvage this stuff from Princess Leia from Carrie Fisher in episode 9. And I thought they did a great job with what they had. But to try to do that with all 3 movies, it's a waste of time. And it's not going to happen. I don't think this is real news. It's someone, I don't know. It doesn't feel right.
Well, I agree. I think it's unlikely, but who knows? We'll you never know. You never know in the world of Hollywood. But yeah, I agree. I'm fine with or without it.
Right. And I'm fine with them doing something like they do the I believe it's called Forces of Destiny. Mm-hmm. It's on YouTube where they do animated shorts of stories that happen within the movies that happen off screen. You know, like there's one where Princess Leia is with Wicket, and we see her between the time she meets Wicket and the time she comes out with wearing her dress. You can do stuff like that if you want to kind of inject little bits into the sequel trilogy, but don't go filming stuff and using footage of Mark Hamill and Harrison. Just let it go. You can fill all the gaps you want in animated stuff and books, but just leave the movies be.
Kirk Francis says it's not a rumor, it's a troll.
Yeah.
619er. Star Wars Episode 10, Luke wakes up from a bad dream, which was Episode 7, 8, 9. The old Bob Newhart closing. What site is that from? This is express.co.uk. But it wasn't just there. I saw it kind of was making the rounds on social media.
I did the same thing. I kept backtracking to find the source, and that's where I ended up too. And I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. Who is even this site? But anywho, all right.
Yeah.
Let's go to a more reputable Hollywood journalistic endeavor. Variety. Godzilla versus Kong.
Moved again.
Yeah, I know.
Just one week. Yeah, we're fine.
It's fine.
They didn't want to interrupt your birthday weekend.
So they dropped the trailer.
Yes.
And I would play the trailer, but the powers that be would shut down this video. So I was going to reenact it for everybody. You guys ready for my reenactment of the trailer? Hold on. There we go.
Oh, I don't have my toys. Okay. So Jay is grabbing some
things.
No.
Wait, here we go. Oh, I'm on this ship. Oh no. Oh, I guess I have a little friend now. That she makes me happy. Oh no, it's Godzilla. Oh, we're fighting. Blowing stuff up. I guess we're both bad guys now. Who's the protagonist and antagonist? Godzilla Kong.
Is this what Toy Geeks is like?
No, it's not. That wasn't as good as what the real trailer was, but
okay, so I did a deep dive. Usually when there's trailers that come out that I'm super excited for, I'll go in and check them out almost frame by frame. I'll look at them shot by shot on my Patreon page. And like there's stuff in this trailer that's plain to see. You could just see the stuff on the trailer, but there's something in there that not a lot of people are talking about. And today I noticed online that, speaking of toys, that there is a spoiler. Now, I don't know if this is, put that spoiler alert thing. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not because you can see this in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to say what I see in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
In the second shot of the trailer, you see Mechagodzilla. And today I saw leaked toys of Mechagodzilla and Mechagodzilla pops. So it's in the trailer. So I don't know if it's a spoiler, but it's there. So there's the second shot of the trailer. You see a group of people in, I believe, Hong Kong running down into a subway, and the camera is pointed up.
Mm-hmm.
And in the skyline, you could see a shiny metal Godzilla face that's lit up with red lights. And then later on, there's an actor standing in front of sort of like a computer screen.
Yep.
And there is a full-on outline of Mechagodzilla on the screen. So I don't know if it's a spoiler, if they're going to put it in the trailer.
If it's in the trailer, it's not a spoiler, right? I feel like that's the rules. Them rules.
Yeah. And then today a fuzzy Funko Pop picture showed up. And it's kind of hard to make out the details, but it looks crazy.
Well, let's see if we got a screen cap of Mechagodzilla.
You just do a Google image search for you look like the last week. Oh, yeah, there you go. There's that.
This one. I can't play the video. Don't make me play the video, IGN. There we go. Was that right there?
That's it. That's the second shot of the trailer. And if you look at the first shot of the trailer opens up with an explosion in the middle of the city, the same city.
Mm-hmm.
But it's doing sort of like a bunch of different colored lights in the explosion.
Yep.
And if you look at what's flying off of the explosion and hitting the buildings, it could be Godzilla skin.
Oh.
So it might be that's when you find out that Godzilla is Mechagodzilla. Because for those of you that have seen the classic Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from 1974, people think it's a real Godzilla, but then the skin starts peeling off and it's metal underneath. So I think that's maybe what's happening in this.
Okay. All right.
But
so
I gotta tell you, that trailer is awesome.
Where they're like, oh, why is Godzilla acting like this? I don't know.
Right.
So that's how
it's not Godzilla. I believe that's what's happening.
Okay, so that's how they get around the whole. Because to me, I thought they were kind of paying Godzilla and King Kong as kind of the heroes, right?
Well, the thing is, up until this point in the MonsterVerse, in Godzilla, Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla is always a good guy. It has never taken out any sort of military personnel or anything like that. So that's unusual.
Mm-hmm.
So something's not right with Godzilla.
Yep.
My theory is Godzilla is just fine, but this isn't Godzilla.
And then the end, Godzilla comes out, and then he teams up with King Kong, and they beat Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, that's how it's going to be. Also, I don't know if you noticed that last shot of the trailer where Godzilla is firing his fire breath, and King Kong is stopping it.
Yeah.
Do you know how he's doing that? Have you seen the accessories for the toys?
No, like I saw he grabbed something, and like what is it? What's the thing?
He's made an axe, and the axe is made of a bone. The handle's made of a bone, and the axe itself is made of one of Godzilla's dorsal fins.
Dang!
And so that's why it's able to stop the fire breath.
Woo!
So I think that's it's all in the trailer. So spoilers, but
it's not. If it's in the trailer, that's not a spoiler,
right? So 2 months before we get that, I am excited. As I mentioned, Kaiju Podcast will be back on the air to cover that episode or that movie. It's rad, man.
Like Kaiju Podcast had to come back for that.
Oh yeah.
But have you seen the toys by Playmates? They're kind of meh. I don't love them.
Right. I saw some toys from Big Bad Toy Store that were awesome. And I forget Takashi.
Oh yeah, the Tashi Nation or whatever.
Yes. Those are awesome.
Yeah, those are expensive though. These ones, right?
Yeah.
or the SA
but
Monster Arts,
yeah, they're like $68.
which isn't too bad, but
No, but I mean they're really cool. The
there's
Godzilla license is always super expensive.
but that's pretty normal for SH Figure Arts.
Right.
Um,
But they look way better than the Playmates version for sure.
yeah, the Playmates look like trash.
All right. What else? What else? I don't have anything else on the
Well, I think
Godzilla versus King Kong.
it looked great. The trailer looked awesome.
Right.
It had me excited for it. It's kind of one of those things that it's one of the mini movies that's just kind of been. We know it's out there. We know it was supposed to be released in 2019.
Right, and this is the first time we're seeing any trailer.
Yeah.
They had the foresight to start like not showing anything from it before the pandemic started. Like they were like ready to go with showing stuff, and then so I'm excited.
Would you prefer it this way as opposed to Bond and Ghostbusters that had trailers, and it's still just like that first teaser trailer from that?
The first teaser trailer for Bond has been out for like over a year.
Same for Ghostbusters. Like, as I was, getting ready, like writing this review for the Ecto One, it's like, man, we've seen this. I went to watch the trailer again. It's like, we watched this for the first time like over a year ago, and it's going to be almost another year till you see the movie.
Right. I don't know. I'm just excited that this is coming out. I wish they would release it sooner. I just wanted to come out now. I don't know why it can't, but I guess since they're showing it in theaters as well, they have a specific time frame. So whatever. I'll wait.
Yeah, maybe they're hoping more.
I'm excited for it though.
More vaccines will be out by then.
No, I might rent a theater if it's available.
Oh, totes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think me and Jorge and Giacchino are like really want to see this on this big screen. So hopefully we can get in there.
Do it around you.
I know there's like AMC's and stuff, and there's AMC right by their house or their houses.
I thought AMC was shut down or whatever.
Yeah, they're shut down. In California at least. So we'll see. If we can find a place, I mean, we're gonna do it.
If you guys want to travel to the East Coast, we Alamo Draft House lets you rent out their theater. So
cool. I think there's an Alamo here.
There is, yeah. If you got an Alamo, I think I don't know about California rules. I don't know.
I'll talk to those guys about it. I'm sure they can figure it out.
Yeah, they have a bit more influence and sway over the industry. Possibly, they could pull some.
Right.
Happen.
Like they probably know someone at Sony. Like
probably
they can probably have one on the lot, like a theater. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I want to watch this movie on the big screen. And if I can, I will.
Absolutely.
Everything else I can just watch at home. But there's something special about watching these kaiju movies on the big screen.
Oh, absolutely. They're big monsters.
Yeah.
You see that on a big screen.
Right.
That's
all right.
That's how it goes. All right. So Godzilla vs. Kong. You love the trailer. I love the trailer. It seems like everybody else loved the trailer on the chat. And it may be what saves this movie from the fate of King of Monsters. So I never saw that one. I felt bad. I never watched that.
Well, here's what happened was Godzilla King of the Monsters didn't do great at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie was already done being shot.
Mm-hmm.
So because if this movie wasn't shot, it wouldn't exist. Pretty much. Because if King of the Monsters, it did okay, but it wasn't like, let's get a sequel. They're already going for it. So they have to release this movie.
Yeah.
Us Godzilla fans need this movie to be super successful and want it to make all kinds of money so that they can go on to make the next one.
Can it at this point though? Because I feel like AT&T, they only care about eyes on screens. Because to them, Wonder Woman's a success, even though it was, a lot of pushback on the internet, but a bunch of people watched it. And that's all AT&T cared about. They just want eyes on screen. So this gets lots of eyes on screen, even if maybe the critical response isn't that great.
Well, I'm wondering if you look at like the YouTube numbers,
Mhm.
if that's a gauge of interest for them. I just read an article today that HBO Max surpassed like 41 million subscribers.
Mhm.
Like it's hit like a peak that no one else has or whatever.
Yeah.
So if they're starting to rake in money because of stuff like this, if people are coming in on board to watch this movie,
Mhm.
they're going to want to make more. I don't know what it would be
Yep.
because me and Jorge had theorized that after Godzilla versus Kong, what would be next? And we're like Mechagodzilla. But if Mechagodzilla is in this one, now what is the next one? Like, what's the most famous monster?
Mhm.
You've already done King Ghidorah, Rodan,
Mhm.
and Mothra.
Mhm.
So what do you do? Where do you go from there?
Well, is the original movies, they started like kind of doing them again. So
right. So we'll see.
All right, going to the chat. Old School says SH Monster Arts. They do have beautiful figures, no doubt about it. There were a bunch of Funkos for it I saw, but I have not seen the murky Mechagodzilla pop.
It's if you go on Twitter, type in Mechagodzilla in the search, you'll see it. First thing.
P-Dubs, we need to be 2014 Godzilla successful.
I love that movie. I watch that movie again. I love that movie every time I watch it.
It's really
and I love Skull Island. I think Skull Island's awesome.
I love Skull Island too. That's where I kind of feel like I was a jerk. Like I love the first two, but I just didn't go see the next one.
Have you introduced the boys to any Godzilla?
Yeah. Zach loves Godzilla.
Right. And you haven't watched King of the Monsters? You should watch King of the Monsters.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like end-to-end monster fights.
Which again, and he was obsessed with King Ghidorah at the time, and I don't know why we didn't go see it. Anyway, Old School says AT&T cut some deal with Legendary though, so who knows how things will pan out. What's next? Pacific Rim crossover. Legendary has all the properties. That could be a good next thing.
Yeah. Or stick Jet Jaguar in Pacific Rim. I want Jet Jaguar. Jet Jaguar is only in one Godzilla movie, and it's not a good movie.
Jacob is here. He forgot it was Thursday. It's okay. It's Thursday.
Hey, tomorrow's Friday. You made it.
Friday Eve.
Right.
Kirk Francis, Godzilla versus King Caesar.
I'm looking at King Caesar right now. I love that dude. Dude, if they did a CG King Caesar, it's a long time before we get there. But I mean, if they did Gigan, dude, that would be nuts.
Jay's with you. I'm so down for Jet Jaguar.
I love Jet Jaguar. I have a little one up there too. I don't have a lot of Godzilla toys, but when I do, it's my guys.
We need to get a little meme of your head superimposed on that guy from the beer commercials, the Secchi's commercials, and then
right
on the table. I don't always buy Godzilla figures.
I have like 4 Godzilla figures.
All right, that is it for news. Now it's time to catch up on some things that we committed to last week on the show. WandaVision.
Both of us failed.
Both of us failed. So there's 2 things. One, I was like, I really want to see Tenet. Let's both watch Tenet and then we'll review it together. And then, of course, the last episode was really focused on WandaVision and how we kind of didn't really dig the first 2 episodes. And so let's see how episode 3 is. And then, as we're getting for the show, I was like, dang, I forgot to watch episode 3. So I have not seen it.
Right. And I haven't seen Tenet.
And you did not watch Tenet. So we'll like 2 of us together will cover both the things we wanted to talk about. But WandaVision episode 3, I got a lot of texts from the people that were ticked that I didn't like the first 2 saying, well, episode 3 is way better. Like gets to the story and everything like that. So
the show is amazing, but it has room to get better is what they're saying. Dude, it's not better. It's the same. It's exactly the same. It's 21 minutes of a sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
That's the situation's not good. The comedy is not good. So, which means it's not a good sitcom. Once again, there was like one small thing during the sitcom that happened, but the majority of it, the new stuff happens at the end. I was talking to producer of my old show, The Dharmalars.
Mhm.
He says he's really, really hoping that by the time that we get to the end of the show, we'll go back and watch and more stuff will make sense. I
Mhm.
told him the only thing that's going to make me happy is if I were to take all these episodes,
Mhm.
play them simultaneously, that episode 1 interacts with 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like
Mhm.
if someone says something over here, someone responds over here. Like
Mhm.
that's the only way that's going to be like, oh, this is genius, is
Yeah.
if for some reason you can play them all at once and make one story. But
Yeah.
right now, the sitcom portion is just not good. Like the only thing that happens is, oh my gosh, she has powers, but we can't let the neighbors know. We know that already. We saw that in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
You're doing it again.
Mhm.
And it's not like it's not good. Sorry to say it. It's not good. And the thing that drives me, I think, the most nuts now is Elizabeth Olsen in the
Mhm.
first episode plays it like a 50s sitcom housewife.
Mhm.
We're now in the 70s and she's still playing it like a 50s sitcom housewife. Like the lady who plays Alice on the Honeymooners acts
Mhm.
differently than Florence Henderson on Brady Bunch,
Mhm.
but she's playing the same character, and it's like making me crazy.
Mhm.
I just don't care for the show, and I'll probably end up watching it because my wife loves it. So, but it really it needs something needs to happen. We can't keep waiting or relying on the last 1 minute for things to happen because the whole storyline of them getting married, having babies, and all
Mhm.
that is not. We know it's fake, a fake world. So there's no stakes. I don't care about these kids. I don't care about their relationship because we know it's a fake world. The best part of the Matrix is when Neo gets pulled out of the Matrix,
Mhm.
that changes him. And
Mhm.
then he's like, oh, I'm going to go back into the Matrix and show them what's up. Like,
Mhm.
this is just them just being in this dream state, and anything that goes wrong, Wanda just rewinds and wipes it out of her memory. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. But now what?
Yeah.
Who cares? I
Mm.
don't care about the characters.
Yeah.
Um, like I said, we're both fans of Lost. And the whole point of Lost was even if you're not getting the answers you want, you're still invested in the show because the characters are so interesting.
Yep.
But these characters are not interesting. They're living in a dream world with rose colored glasses, and we know better than they do.
Mhm.
So it doesn't make their characters interesting. It's not interesting. Their characters are not interesting. They're blank slates and they're not growing from this experience. They're not learning anything new. And
Mhm.
I just can't get into it. This is Marvel's first TV series in the MCU where it's full on taking characters from that thing.
Mhm.
And it's not a great way to start things off. You got to really like hit the ground running. And this is 3 episodes where I feel like they're just walking in place.
Yep. Yep. No,
The whole show feels like quicksand.
I have not seen it yet,
Right.
but the people that are kind of on my side of haven't enjoyed it that much so far have had kind of your feeling.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in the chat are on the other side of it, so I do want to give them their time to shine here. Scott D is here. Hello, Scott D. Old School forgot to watch it, so he hasn't seen it. Jay Griffiths, y'all are nuts. WandaVision is killing it.
Keep going.
Scott D says, you WandaVision program tomorrow. It looks like to be very different / interesting.
Cool. I'm ready.
Says WandaVision is House of M and will change the MCU drastically. It's bad.
Okay. But this is a TV show. It shouldn't have to rely on the comics. I shouldn't be anticipating something that I saw in a comic book. This is storytelling. It's being told in a television format. It needs to do something more because if I'm reading House of M and I'm on issue 3, I should have some semblance of what's going on. And this is not giving me any of that. And the stuff that they are giving us, like we knew from the end of the first episode that there's an outside world looking in.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What did we learn from this episode 3? There's an outside world looking in. It hasn't, like, Wanda knocks one of her, I'm just going to spoil it for you, but I mean, Wanda knocks one of her friends
Mm-hmm.
out of the sitcom dimension into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
I just spoiled the last 1 minute for you. There you go, dude. Like, who cares? But it doesn't mean anything. If she woke up in that cornfield next to like Ultron, then I'd be like, oh crap, I know what that is. I know what's happening. I'm not going, oh, I read the House of M, so I know what's gonna happen. They've gotta advance the story, and they're just not.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah.
I saw an article on UK.co that Disney Plus was rebooting the entire WandaVision series with unused footage.
Right. It's just, there's something about it. Like, once again, technically it's amazing. The set this week was sort of amalgam of like the Brady house. It looks like the Brady house if you twisted it in a Rubik's cube. And so it was like laid out differently, but it was still the Brady house.
Sure,
But it just doesn't just start bringing stuff into the world. I want to see this world start collapsing. We only have like, after tomorrow, we only have like 4 more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Go do something.
But you know, would it be easier? Would it be better if this show was all at once, so you kind of quickly get or try to get through maybe the things that's taken a while to get to the reveal? Because maybe the reveal does pay it off in such a way that makes everything before it worthwhile. Jay Gervis agrees with PD. Amen, PD. If you don't like WandaVision, please read House of M. Sounds like you have read House of M, Ralph, or
no?
I
know about House of M, but I don't like if you go and look up Easter eggs on WandaVision, everyone's excited because there's a cow on the milk carton, and it's a famous character was this sentient cow that helped raise Pietro and Wanda, and it's like, that doesn't matter to the story.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's an Easter egg. It's not a plot point.
Ralph,
I don't know what that emoji is.
Colleen says it should be more like Flight Attendant, where she pieces things together more and more each episode. Sure, but again, even Flight Attendant, which isn't a geek show, but it set it up, and then really like 15 minutes in, you're like, oh crap, kind of breaks the reality, right. And then it kind of doesn't waste any time. Like, you're already hitting the ground running by the end of the first episode.
Right.
Old School Shinobi, you're right again, Ralph. Preach. Wait, Old School, you say I haven't even seen it yet. I think Old School's just on your side no matter what.
Good.
Fetz says, let's hope the next episode of WandaVision will live up to the greatness of Godzilla and Green Lantern movies.
First of all, Fetz, you're a dumb because there's only one Green Lantern movie. Don't put Green Lantern movies plural. Okay. And second of all, there's a lot of problems with that movie. I've never claimed to like that movie, but I'll tell you one thing. There's a story with a beginning and middle and end, and I'm still waiting for the middle of WandaVision in episode 3. It's just not happening. Same with Godzilla. Speaking of, you want to know what's weird?
What's weird?
You know what's weird about 2014 Godzilla?
What?
Wanda and Pietro are married. Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Johnson are married in the movie.
I don't remember. I remember being in that movie.
So
I remember, what's his name? Bryan Cranston's in that one, isn't he?
Yeah, that was great. You don't remember Bryan Cranston died in like the first 20 minutes?
Yeah, but didn't he? Oh wait, now I'm starting to mix him in the Power Rangers movie.
He was Zordon. They're totally different.
Anyway, sorry. All right, moving on. I haven't read House of M. Has nothing to do with enjoying quality entertainment. BDS says, as a comic fan, I love what they're doing. Not for everyone, but it's all good. If you want to count,
I think also. By the way, I think also like it's such an interesting concept that I think any writer would love to play with this concept.
Sure.
But no one's playing with the concept. They're just doing it straight. And it's like, no, do stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like I don't mind doing extra work. And I do enjoy reading comics. I just haven't read House of M. So it's kind of one of those things like they should have been giving me a hint. Like if I knew I had to read House of M before the show, I would have done it.
Right.
But they're basically like just assuming that I have, and I'm a geek. I feel like geek cred. I haven't read that series, and so it's like if you haven't and you need to read that to get all of this, I feel like you're kind of setting this up to fail a little bit. Like do expanded universe stuff, do things that kind of bring you into it.
Here's a weird book I have, Will World, where Green Lantern has gone into a fictitious fantasy world filled with crazy stuff.
Filled with wills.
Beginning, middle, and end. Gives you information, lets you know what's going on.
Let's see. Haven't seen it, but I do agree that a show needs to stand on its own. It can't rely on comic fan service. Easter eggs, Lost, and Twin Peaks make the journey interesting. Too much content to waste. Agreed. Yeah, it's just like the story, like the characters and their journeys, is what made to me Lost great. And for the people that were only in it for the Easter eggs or all the stuff, they were the people that were ticked off at the end of that show. Even though I think overall it probably solved a lot of those, but that's a topic for another day. Just a reminder about starting off with WandaVision. This was supposed to be after Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think I said that. It's like it's weird they led with this when it would have made more, if they weren't going to spend any time in the universe, it would have made more sense to have Falcon and Winter Soldier first. But I guess COVID delays hurt Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I think it would be cool if it was like the WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier dynamic hour.
Yeah.
Like I would love it if it was like that, like how they used to have like Wonder Woman and Isis, or Shazam and Isis. Like if they were back to back, or they flip flop each. I don't know. I need something else in the middle of these. There's nothing new on TV. I've been watching old Mask episodes because, of course, after watching Screen Geeks, I'm like, you guys never talk about Masks coming back. And so I've been playing with my Mask toys and watching
on Toy Geeks. Don't even. We've talked about Mask. We've definitely talked about Mask.
I think we've talked about Mask.
We have. But on Toy Geeks, we talked about it when there was rumors they were bringing it back. We did talk about it.
The point is, there's nothing on TV. And so, of course, I'm going to watch WandaVision. I watched Ted Lasso twice in a month. I've watched Schitt's Creek twice now.
Okay, it's like I'm rewatching West Wing right now. Have you watched West Wing? Great Sorkin.
No.
Good Sorkin. Good Sorkin. A lot of walking, talking. If you love walking and talking, West Wing is the best.
I'm gonna walk if these chat members keep talking.
There you go. Jake is a big Mask fan. There you go. Let's calm down, Ralph. Now.
So just chuck my toy.
So my youngest Alex, he must have heard this phrase at school or something, but lately when he's like frustrated, he's like, "That's it, I quit." And he'll just like walk away. It's like, what are you quitting? I just asked you to pick up the toy. I quit. Anywho, all right. Last thing, we're coming up on the end of the show. But
really? Yeah.
You didn't watch the movie anyway. Tenet. I watched it this weekend. A lot of people have been dumping on this movie.
Right.
But I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
Cool.
It is the most Nolan-y Christopher Nolan movie ever. And it is Ralph always mistreats his mask.
Oh, someone was it Jay? Or someone was on my Patreon where I was showing my desk, and I have Hurricane from Mask up there, like my second favorite toy of all time. And I was trying to twist the top to make it pop up, and it just wasn't going. And it was just making this plastic rubbing sound. And they were like, I was afraid you were going to break it. I'm like, no, Mask toys are indestructible.
Why would you say that? They're not.
Well, I mean, not Condor, not Vampire. Hurricane? Hurricane is The most indestructible toy ever made.
Your abuse of mass toys is starting to become legendary, Ralph.
It was Shinobi that said it.
Jacob,
Make the sound.
no, ah, no. Ah.
Solid hunk of plastic.
All right. Anyways, I watched Tenet.
Right.
I really dug it. But it is like, there's people that kind of, for some reason, criticize Inception for spending so much time setting up the universe, setting up the rules, setting up how everything works, and then it has this really amazing, climactic end scene, or a big set piece of all this action and all that kind of stuff. Tenet is like, let's just drop you right in it. Don't really give you barely any just background on how all this stuff works, and you just ride through this story without a bunch of setup. And then how do you do that? And I liked it. Like, to me, they explained enough to where it's like, okay, cool. I kind of get why all of these things are things. And it's basically Nolan just continues to want to make a Bond film. And this is another, it's a Nolan version of a Bond film where it's the same concept of you have this protagonist, but it's so stripped down that his name is protagonist in this show. It's I'm blanking on his name, Denzel Washington's kid, who's an amazing actor in his own right. I really dig him. And it's literally his name is protagonist. And then you have Robert Pattinson, who has very quietly, I think, become a really charming actor that I enjoy watching in film.
Ever since New Moon. Right.
Yeah, again, I think he's made the transition from teeny bopper idol thing to he's a really good actor.
Same with Kristen Stewart. Both of them came out.
They both,
top.
Which is kudos to them.
Yeah.
And it's really good, and I think it has stakes, and there's no Hans Zimmer score. And it's Ludwig Göransson who does the Mandalorian score.
That's been the one reason why I didn't want Nolan to do a Bond movie, is because I didn't want Hans Zimmer to do his Bond score. Oops. There's still time to fix it.
But
by the way, with them pushing all the Bond movies back, it should give Hans Zimmer enough time to finish the score by himself. Will he do it by himself?
Chilling. It's I already wrote my 5 minutes. But the Ludwig Göransson, I dug the score. But it definitely had those bow.
Right.
So it's it's not just Nolan giving notes to whomever is doing. It's I need a bow sound in this
Could
part.
be.
But yeah. Matt Eichhoff is in the chat, who has been on the show before. What's up, Matt? Kirk said melt a masked figure's head on an 80s light bulb. Know that from experience. Jay says they're definitely not indestructible. Colleen says she got bored. She barely even watched it. She was off doing her own thing. You didn't get bored during Tenet. Don't even.
Taking care of your children.
No, we watched.
Wow, that's really.
Kids were asleep. That's when we do our whatever. The kids are asleep, so there's no watch. No, she was, I don't know, editing her podcast or something like she usually does. She's off in the corner editing. Always editing. Colleen, I was bored too. Glad I didn't see it in theater. Also says Pattinson rocks the performance in Good Time. Good. I hear Good Time's fantastic, and Lighthouse. Just drop us in and not explain anything. Sounds familiar. Yes, but at least it was an enjoyable experience. Stuff was happening. It's not just a riff on sitcoms. Anywho, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. Maybe I'll like the third one. Scott D says, saw Tenet in IMAX when it came out in Connecticut in September. Loved it too. Really fun. But no matter how much you think about it, it's hard to make your brain understand what is happening. It's a temporal pincer movement. Matt and Colleen are having a conversation. I'm happy for you guys. I was really looking forward to it, so I was very bummed. Again, if you're going this thinking it's going to be Inception, where he takes all the time to explain everything, which I do enjoy. I think Inception is a fantastic movie. This is much more like how It's he made Inception, but had the same type of structure as what was Dunkirk, where Dunkirk you just kind of like dropped into it and you just experience what they experienced for that time from beginning to end. And Tenet's very similar. It's just like you're just dropped into it and they're going through whatever they got to go through and stop the world from ending. I was doing my own thing because it was boring. You never gave it a chance, Colleen. You never gave it a chance. I feel like not enough people talked about that Batman trailer aside from how emo he looked. I'm really pumped about it. We talked about it on this show.
Yeah,
right?
we talked about it. I love the punching.
And what's his name? Colin Farrell.
Yeah, that's the Penguin.
How like the makeup, it looks insane. Fetz's life was great. I hope Jay and Ralph review it. Yeah, we'll both say we're gonna watch it, and maybe one of us will.
I don't know, but it's in 4:3 and it's black and white. We'll see.
Old School says I think there's a lot of good things to unpack in that Batman trailer. Indeed. And score by Michael Giacchino, friend of the show.
Right.
We should have him on the show to talk about it whenever that movie drops.
Yeah, I'll tell you something after.
Okay. And then BDWAG, same. I love the gritty look they're doing. And Colleen Glatfelter, who's she? Matt, I heard I have to listen to the RCAT for stock tips. Yes, this whole GameStop thing is insane. It's it's nuts. It's very nuts. But I'm fine.
Keeping my distance.
Yeah. Anywho, so Tenet, I dug it. I'm giving it Geek Dad thumbs up. I enjoy it.
I think after your explanation of it, I am more excited about it than I ever been. So, yeah.
Also says Michael Giacchino on Screen Geeks and Todd McFarlane on Toy Geeks same week. That's a lot of that's too much in 1 week. Yes, you gotta.
I don't know what we would talk about. I don't want to just talk to him about his work.
Well, that's exactly like I'll do the questions. You could just be, the friend that's there.
Hiding under a blanket.
I'll do it total Chris Farley style. It'd be great. Remember when you did the Lost Score? Was that cool? Oh man. All right. Well, I think that's as good a place as any to wrap up tonight's show. Join us again Thursday nights at 9:00 is when we do Screen Geeks, talking about the latest in TV and film.
WandaVision episode 4. I'll keep you updated. I'm gonna keep watching it, guys.
I will promise right here that I will watch both of them.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's a chance. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will be more inclined to enjoying it. For all the people in the chat, I'm sorry that Old School says I'm sorry about my Thunder 10. It's okay. It's fine.
Stop bringing it up.
It's fine.
Right.
Colleen's gonna forget. It's in 2022.
Colleen's only upset because we're talking about toys on Screen Geeks. That's the only problem.
We'll talk about it more join us on Screen Geeks, because Ralph hates talking about toys. He hates it. You don't really hate it.
These toys back here. That's what I think about toys.
Awesome. Yeah.
Dude, no, seriously, the Hurricane is probably the most sturdy toy ever built.
You're asking for it. You are tempting the fate of the toy gods.
I love toys.
But again, be on the lookout for my review of the Plasma series Ecto,
and my review of the MTV7 with Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern in it.
Oh man! All right,
because I love that Green Lantern movies.
Oh God! Matt says, "Leave Colleen alone. She hears enough plastic rubbing together." Colleen says she's doing our taxes right now. I guess I should have done them while watching Tenet. So funny. Anyways, that's it. We'll see you all next week. Hasta luego and goodbye.
Bye.